is Spain policy against the war with United States, Israel, and Iran. So Spain is a member of the EU and also NATO, which America is a part of NATO. United States is part of NATO. So, but Spain don't seems to support the United States war with Iran. But there could be other reasons apart from Iran itself why Spain is not too supportive of the United States giant war with Israel against Iran. The reasons could be past Spain political colonial past, because Spain colonized from Mexico right down to the southern part of the Americas. So Spain, every country in Central America beside Belize speak Spanish. Belize is the only English-speaking country in Central America. And then when you go to South America now, there are only 3 countries in South America that don't speak. That's the 4 countries in South America don't speak Spanish. And they are Guyana, Suriname, Cayenne, known as French Guyana, and Brazil. So Spain had put its mark in the Americas as the European country that colonized the most countries in the Americas, on the continent of North, South, and Central America. So now America and Venezuela have political conflict right now. Spain might not like the government in Venezuela, but Spain also got its language interests and other culture in Venezuela. Perhaps they want to protect too. So as America and Israel is engaged in a present war with Iran, Spain claim to be neutral. They don't want the Americans to use the military space for certain operations. So, and Spain is a member of NATO. So again, it shows that politics is interest. And all countries looking for the interest in the geopolitical conflict or the geopolitical change. So when I see in the news that Spain is opposed to the US and Israel war with Iran, I was kind of, well, not really surprised, but because I know Spain have interest in the Americas. But Spain is claiming that the war wasn't given the red light by the UN, or how they say the international community didn't give the US and Israel the right to make war with Iran. That's what Spain is saying. So if you go back into history, Mexico and the US had conflict over lands, and Latin America itself have a culture. So maybe it could be Spain's interest is to protect language and culture, because America, even though America say it doesn't have a language, but they speak English. That's what they say. They don't have an official language. But America is the largest English-speaking country in the world, even though they say they don't have a language, but they speak English. So, with the power of the United States of America and also influence language in the world, because people have to trade in the American dollar. So even though English is a British language and America is rope-a-doping it in a subtle way, because America broke away from it, from Britain or England. So it could be, although they speak English, they don't want to say English is their official language. But people trade in English. You understand? And people speak English all over the world. So again, it goes back to global politics, language, and culture. So it is interesting now to see with the war going on. And also, the US have conflict with Venezuela and Colombia too. In a way, Colombia and Brazil, even though they speak Portuguese, but Portuguese is a language close to Spanish too, and perhaps the culture is similar. So, and then in South America, the three smallest countries in South America, they don't speak Spanish. Guyana speak English, Suriname speak Dutch, and French Cayenne, known as French Guyana, they speak French. But they are the three smallest countries on the continent of South America. So geopolitics shows up intertwined with what is going on in the Middle East, with what is going on in South America or the Americas. English and Spanish are the two most dominated language in the Americas, and then French come after, because we have Haiti, they speak French, and then you have the other French Antilles, including Cayenne. And Spain control the largest speaking language in the Americas is Spanish, when you add it up together. Mexico go right down to Chile, Argentina, down there. They speak Spanish. And so it's very interesting, you know. So it could be Spain not supporting the American war with Iran, could be culture, former colonial interest in the Americas. They mightn't have colonies again, but the influence. They're trying to protect the influence in the Americas. Because as Spain as a former colonial power that declined, similar to Portugal, or Portugal declined as European colonial powers. But they leave the reputation and mark behind in having colonized people speak their language. For example, one can say that Brazil is a major country in the world, one of the in the top 10 largest country in the world, and they speak Portuguese. And then you have Spanish countries in the Americas like Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, and those countries like that, big population. So, and they speak Spanish. So, I don't know. It could be perhaps Spain not too happy with the American policy of global dominance, because they're looking after the past colonial interests. Maybe that's why they don't want to support the US in its war with Iran. So anyway, politics, geopolitics, personal interests, economics, all intertwined in global politics. All countries looking after the interests. What is in it for you, for them, and what is it for the opponent? So Spain mightn't be a friend of Iran. I don't think they're friends, because Spain is a Catholic country. Even though religion does not taken serious in Europe, but one cannot deny the influence of religion. Even though many years ago, the Muslim had once invaded Spain and colonized it. So you see, politics is interest. And Spain was even to get rid of the Muslims once out of Spain. But that era has gone. So Spain looking after its present interest now. Whilst the United States is exercising its muscles into major conflicts of their own personal interests and policies. So global politics, geopolitics is at play. Anyway, this is me, Hudson George. I gone till I come again.